The next one I want to talk about is BHAG and I call it BHAG versus realistic goals. Now there are these two schools of thought. Okay, let me start by defining what BHAG is. BHAG is actually, by definition, BHAG is big, hairy, audacious goal. Is when you set up a goal so high that it makes you almost, it makes your skin jump. You kind of feel like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. You can't even talk about it. Have you ever felt that way? You have this goal, you have this ambition that you even feel embarrassed to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because you kind of feel like people will see you as a crazy person. That's what a BHAG is. You know what I mean? JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, President of America, tells the world that in 10 years we're gonna put a man on the moon. Something like that. And people think like, are you crazy? And because what you have to remember, back in those days, back in the 60s, commercial flights were a new thing. And therefore we're just about teething with commercial flights, and you're talking about going to the moon. This is crazy. That's what BHAG is all about. You know what I mean? Or when Bill Gates in his dorm room trying to create this software called Microsoft, he's thinking about putting a PC on every household, in the world. That's the BHAG. That is crazy. People look at him and think like, what are you talking about? You can't even pass your university exam and you're talking about putting a PC on every. Go away. What are you talking about? That's what a BHAG is. You know what I mean? Or Noah. I'll tell you about the Bible story. I love reading the Bible. Noah's Ark. He's telling people that I'm going to build this ark. I'm going to build an ark so big it's going to fit all creatures of the world in twos. And people look at him and think like, what? What did you learn about making boat? What is a boat anyway? What is that thing that crazy shaped thing you're trying to build? This is crazy. That's what BHAG is all about. So you've got these schools of thought, right? You've got one school of thought that says, if you're going to set targets, if you're going to have goals, then you should have them so high. They say, reach up for the stars. Is it? Hang on. You reach up for the stars, and then if you miss them, you'll hit the moon. Is it something like that? Or is it reach up for the moon and then you reach? I don't know, whatever. But something like that. So you have that one school of thought. And then you've got another school of thought that says, no, you need to set realistic goals. We call them, what do you call them? Smart goals, as two schools of thought. So others will say, forget about these unrealistic big goals, because they'll just frustrate you. They'll demoralize you, because it will make you feel like you're not succeeding, you're not fulfilling anything, you're not being successful. So don't go down that route. What you're supposed to do, just set smart goals, little chunks that you can fulfill every day. Those are two schools of thought. Now, I come right in the middle. I don't know where you are, but I come right in the middle. Why am I coming right in the middle? I'm coming right in the middle because there is a place for both of them. Okay? There is a place for both of them. What do I mean by there is a place for both of them? The same as in an organization. I'll go back to the example of the organization, right? When you have a board meeting, right? They don't talk about SMART goals in a board meeting. Okay? The CEO and the board of directors will never talk about SMART goals. They're not going to start going specific, measurable, what is it? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, or relevant time. They don't do any of that. It's absolutely none of their business. All they are thinking, they're just thinking, where are we going to take this company? How are we going to defeat the competition? How are we going to be the best company in the world? How are we going to make sure that we put a PC on every household? They are focused on the BHAG, okay? That's what they do. It is down to the managers and the supervisors and the implementers down when it goes to the level of implementation, where people would sit down and say, right, okay, now what do we need to do? How are we going to successfully achieve this? What do we need to do today? And that's where the SMART goals come in. That's where the time limits come in. That's where the achievability comes in. That's where the resources and the relevance and the realism, the realistic nature of things come in. You see? Remember when I was talking about strategy, I said that's where you look at the ground and see how you adjust the strategy. That's where it comes. So there is a place for both of these, even in your personal life. That you can have this really crazy, audacious goal that you think, this is what I want to achieve in 10 years. And it's usually long term. Think, this is what I want to achieve in 10 years. This is what I want to be in 10 years. And if at the moment you might look at yourself and think, really, in my personal circumstances at the moment, I don't think I'm going to achieve this. I can't see how I'm going to achieve this. It doesn't matter. But you having that gives you a sense of purpose, gives you a sense of direction, gives you a sense of something you can look up to. But then when it comes to your daily habits and what you do on a daily basis, then you can come and look into realistic goals. So these are not mutually exclusive. You can have both, and you can combine them and make the use of both of them for your benefit. Let me go back to the screen share really quickly. So yeah, so BHAG, just as realistic goals. So BHAG is like visions or dreams. I give you those examples over there. So it's very important to free your minds. Think beyond your means, but act within. It's very important. You always make sure that you think outside your means. You don't have to look at your means and say, oh, I have to limit my thoughts. I have to limit my dreams, my aspirations, because I feel like I can't achieve them. No, just allow your mind to go wild. But when it comes to how you act, you have to act within your means. Right, let's go to the realistic approach to goals. This is when you break down your BHAG, your audacious goal, into implementable chunks. Now, I've got this really nice acronym here that I came up with, REALiSTiC. The R stands for repetitive, E stands for exciting, A stands for achievable, LI stands for little or small, S stands for strategic, TI stands for timed, and C stands for clear. Now, really quickly, repetitive, I've spoken about that. You remember when we talked about employment? Oh, I do the same job every day, boring. Repetitive, again, it's very important to have a routine in your life. And one of the sessions we'll have probably in the future in this same Today Matters is about routine and power of repetition. And it's very important. So doing something repetitively, keep doing it because you get better at it. So that's really important when it comes to realistic approach to goals. It has to be exciting. We talked about this. When you do something and you lost that sense of excitement, it wears you down. And again, part of the reason we do these things is because you want to bring the stress levels down. You don't want to have more fulfillment. So obviously you want your goals to be exciting, to be fulfilling, to be rewarding. Achievable, it has to be something that you can achieve, whether it is in that particular day or that particular week or that particular month. It has to be little, very small. When it comes to realistic goals, don't worry about your BHAG. Just worry about what can I achieve today. Little chunks every day, little you can do every day. Keep at it, keep chunking. You'll be amazed how much you can achieve in a year if you have that attitude on a daily basis. It has to be strategic. I've said so much about strategy. Timed, you know about that one. And at the end of it all, clear. It has to be very clear. I'll give you an example of that. I'll go back to the same example about health and well-being, because I'm very passionate about fitness and health and well-being. You have a target. You say, I want to lose weight. Is that very clear? No, it's not. A clear goal would be something like this. I want to lose 2 pounds by the end of the week. And I want to lose it by running for half an hour 3 times a week. You understand what I mean? It's very clear. These are the objectives. This is what I'm setting out to do. This is what I'll be doing. This is what at the end of the week I will assess whether I've succeeded. So at the end of the week, I'll come and say, I set myself out to be running 3 times a week for at least half an hour. Did I do that? Yes, I did that. I set myself out to do this and this and that at the end of the week. Did I do that? No, I didn't. Right, I said that by the end of the week, I want to lose 3 pounds. Have I lost 3 pounds? Yes or no? You understand? So it's very clear. You can, by the end of the week, you can say that I have messed up, or you can say that, woohoo, I've done well, I can set a new goal. See? So when it comes to realistic goals, it has to be very, very clear.